Hey, homegirls, welcome to another episode of the Girl Just Heal podcast. So, the episode you are about to listen to is actually a rewind episode, and I decided to bring this episode back to the forefront because it's super important for us to just allow God to prune all the areas of our lives that are keeping us stuck, those areas where we feel like we're at a standstill with healing, or we feel like we don't know which direction to turn. It's so important for us to allow God to come in and prune those areas of our lives so that we can really heal and unapologetically step into the divine calling that God has on our lives. Because sometimes pruning may seem like punishment. And if you out there, homegirl, I know because I have felt like pruning was punishment more times than I would like to admit. But the truth about it is pruning is not punishment. Pruning is just God creating space in your life so that you can more easily align with who it is that He has called you to be. So we are about to talk about why the pruning is necessary in this episode. So I want you to sit back, get comfy, grab your journal so we can talk about all of the ways that pruning is necessary. Hey, homegirl, welcome to the Girl Just Heal podcast, where together we learn how to navigate our healing journeys in a way that challenges us to destroy limits and break down walls that have been keeping us subject to our trauma. I am your host, your favorite homegirl, Neimoya, Basden. And just like you, I am on this healing journey, navigating the ups and downs of this thing called life, while simultaneously allowing God to usher me right into the place where He wants me to be. So get comfy, grab your journal, and let's talk about all the ways we can heal, grow, and evolve together. Hey, homegirls, welcome to the Girl Just Heal podcast. I'm your favorite homegirl, Neimoya Basden, and Chad, listen. So how are y'all doing? How are you healing? How are you feeling? You know it's time for our weekly check-in, so drop me a comment in the comment section. If you are catching the YouTube visuals, let me know how you are doing. Let me know how you are feeling. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave a review and just let me know how you are doing. I hope that you have been navigating your life and your healing journey to the best of your ability. And if you have fallen short in any area, just let me know. Check in with me because I want to hold your hand and help you heal, grow, and evolve and become that best version of yourself that's deep down inside of you. Not the version that you see right now, not the version that everybody else see, not the version that you feel is the most messed up part about you. Not that version, baby. I'm talking about the version that lies under all of that when you peel back that layer. Okay, when you peel back all of that, you tear all of that stuff off of you. I'm talking about that layer that God has for you, and He's just waiting for you to get into position so that you can tap into that layer that He has for you. So check in with me. Let me know how y'all are doing, all of the things. I'm doing pretty well, y'all. God has been good. God has been amazing. And I thank God for everything He's done. I thank God for everything He's doing, everything He is going to do. So let's go ahead and slide into this episode. So now y'all know what we're going to do. We're going to get into the most favorite part of this episode, baby, which is what? It is time for the prayer cards. Prayer cards. It is time for the prayer cards. Prayer cards. 8. Prayer cards. Prayer cards. 8. It's time for the prayer cards, y'all. But we going to do something a little different today, okay? Now, these prayer cards, they are scripture cards, so they have scriptures out of the Bible. And I normally pull a prayer card. If you're new here and you don't know this, my OG homegirls, y'all already know. I normally pull a prayer card and we kind of just like dissect that scripture, say what it means to us. I read it from a couple versions, all of that. Today, we're going to do it different. I did want to make sure I sung the prayer card jingle, though, because the homegirls be coming for y'all favorite homegirl when they don't hear that prayer card jingle. But we are in the Word. Praise God. We are in the Word today, but I wanted to talk about something specific today, something that has been coming up for me, and it has been coming up for me. It seems like every time I get on Instagram, if I'm on YouTube, if I'm on Facebook, if I'm on TikTok, I see something about this topic. And I'm like, okay, God, what are you trying to say to me? Like, what are you trying to reveal to me? And I know that there's some areas in my life where this is actually taking place in my life, but I'm like, why do I keep on seeing it? So I had to do a deeper dive into it. So we are going to be going to John chapter 15, and we're going to be focusing on verses 1 through 8. And I'm in the New Living Translation version of this. And so this is Jesus speaking. And he says, I am the true grapevine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch of mine that doesn't produce fruit, and he prunes the branches that do bear fruit so they will produce even more. You have already been pruned and purified by the message I have given you. Remain in me, and I will remain in you. For a branch cannot produce fruit if it is severed from the vine, my God. And you cannot be fruitful unless you remain in me. So I read verses 1 through 4, and we're going to pause right there because what we're talking about today is being pruned by God. When we're going through a season of being pruned, and that is just picking out the dead weight, like taking all the dead weeds, all of the things in our lives that's not causing any motion, everything in our life that is keeping us stagnant, every connection that's not adding to where we are trying to go. Sometimes God will prune us and he will take things away and strip us of things. And we start thinking that God is punishing us. We start thinking, Lord, you are out to get me because you taken everything away, everything I love, everything that I have built over these years. Lord, I thought that everything was going good in my life, and you just started disconnecting me from people. You just started taking me out of different relationships. And Lord, I don't understand. When I tell you I have gone through a season of that, and I know that God has been putting this in my path because I need to understand, like, okay, I'm a fixer. I feel like I'm a fixer. I always try to salvage situations. I feel so bad. Like if somebody, has an attitude with me or not talking to me, I start overthinking. I start trying to figure out the situations. Even if they wronged me, I'm the one that still be wanting to reach out. Lord, deliver me from me. But I'm the one that still want to reach out. And so a lot of times when God is pruning me, I personally feel like I'm getting attacked. I'm like, Lord, you taking away everybody who I hold space for in my heart, who I love, who I cherish, who I have a relationship with. And sometimes we don't fully understand. I don't fully understand that God is pruning certain areas of my life because he's trying to take me to certain areas, and the areas he's trying to take me, certain people cannot go, certain things cannot go, certain habits cannot go, certain relationships cannot go. And so he has to prune me of these things. And one of the things that came up for me as I kept scrolling on social media, seeing things about pruning, is that I'm like, God really reminded me. He reminded me that I have been praying for him to take me to the next level. I have been praying for him to send me a team of people. I've been praying for him to put collabs in my path and allow me to collab with more people and to just take Girl Just Heal to the next level. These have been my prayers. And so when we talk about pruning, it's all a process, right? Like you don't just pray and then it's finna happen like that. You pray, you send your petitions up to God, but you have to go through a process so that you can get to the promise, so that you can get to what you've been praying for. And so it came back, like God revealed back in my mind, he revealed to me and brought back up in my mind. He was like, you have been praying for me to elevate you. But when I start causing things to fall off of you as you are walking up and being elevated, you keep trying to go back and pick it up. And God was like, Neimoya, don't go back and pick it up. Let it lay where it is at. If it fell off right there, keep it right there. Quit trying to salvage relationships and friendships and people. Quit trying to salvage these relationships and connections with people who I am stripping you of. And a lot of times we just feel like God, you are punishing me because you stripping me. And God is like, I'm not punishing you, sweetheart. I'm preparing you. That's why I'm stripping you. Because if I don't strip you, you are not going to let go of that person. Hello. God is like, if I don't strip you, you are not going to disconnect from this relationship. If I don't strip you, you are going to keep going through the same cycle you've been going through for the past 10 years. My God, this is so good to me because I just feel it so heavy. God is so, so good. And so this has been my process with pruning. And we don't understand, if we stay connected to the dead weight, if we stay connected to the things that are not in our paths, like people may have been with you for a season, but when they season up, quit trying to take them to another season. If their season is up, baby, it's up. When winter is done, winter is done. When summer come around, if you see some snow in the summertime, something wrong. Because when winter is done, the summer don't say, come on, winter, you can come here for a couple of days and you can inhabit my space. No, that doesn't happen. And so that is an example of us, how we do when people's seasons are up in our life. We try to go back and we try to get them and invite them to a new season. And God is like, I dropped them in that old season for a reason. That's the season they have to stay in. Because if they come to a new season, if they come to this next level, you are not going to operate in your full potential, because you are still going to be weighed down by the baggage that they are carrying. And this is why God has to prune us. This is why God has to strip us of things, not to make us suffer, not to put us on punishment. He ain't grounding us, okay? You know, when you was a kid, you get grounded by your parents because you ain't been doing right. God is not doing that to us. He is doing it for our good. He's pruning us for our own benefit. And a lot of times the reason he has to prune us anyway is because we are so stubborn and we won't let go. He done been sending you sign after sign, red flag after red flag, and we still hold on. We still like, no, it's a little bit here that can be savage. Like, God, I know they didn't mean that when they said that. You know, I know they hard. Like, they ain't really mean that. They were just angry. They were just mad. And we try to hold on to them, and we try to make it sound real good. We make excuses for why we're still holding on to things. And then God starts saying, okay, my child, look, I got to elevate you. I'm trying to take you to the next level, but you not doing what needs to be done. So now I got to step in and I got to do what needs to be done. And guess what? It don't feel comfortable. It hurts. Pruning, my goodness, listen, pruning hurts. When God is stripping you of things that you have been trying to nourish and trying to hold on to, baby, that hurts. When somebody come take something from you, that hurts. Like, nobody wants to deal with somebody just coming and taking something from you. And a lot of times that's what pruning feels like. It feels like you are being just like tormented. And it feels like God is just taking things away from you. And God, you don't want me to have what's good. But the reason he's pruning you is because all he wants for you is what's good. That's all he got waiting for you is what's good. But you can't become that full version of yourself because you are still holding on to the dead weight. You can't become who God has called you to be. You can't walk into that next level of you because you still holding on to relationships that their time is up. Baby, their time is up. It's over with. It's done. There is nothing else that you are going to benefit from that relationship. And that's why God is making it uncomfortable. That's why you are being pruned. That's why you are being stripped of that relationship. That's why God is making you disconnect from that person, because their time is up and nothing else beneficial is going to come from that connection. So we're going to keep reading. We're going to keep reading. John chapter 15, verse 5. I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, yes, I am the vine. You are the branches. This is Jesus speaking. Those who remain in me and I in them will produce much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. Verse 6, anyone who does not remain in me is thrown away like a useless branch and withers. Such branches are gathered into a pile to be burned. Verse 7, but if you remain in me and my words remain in you, you may ask for anything you want and it will be granted. We gonna stop at verse 7. Listen, I'm gonna read it again. It said, but if you remain in me and my words remain in you, you may ask for anything you want and it'll be granted. I just shared with you that I have been asking God to take me to the next level. God, I've been doing this thing by myself.
I'm getting to the point now where I need a team because the demand for Girl Just Heal, Girl Just Heal is growing. And I know that God, with you, I can do it all, but I need somebody else. Like I need other people that can help me out. Lord, I want to collab. I want to do more collaborations. I want more partnerships, more sponsorships with Girl Just Heal. And I've asked God for this. But here's the thing. God's word tell us that we can ask him for anything if we remain in him and his words remain in us, meaning if we remain in him and have a great relationship with him and we remember his word and we put him first and we seek him first and know and believe that all other things are going to be added when we seek him first, he will give us what we want, the desires of our hearts. But sometimes when he starts giving us what we want, it don't always look like we think it's going to look. I'm going to let you sit on that for a minute. Sometimes when God starts giving us what we want, it don't always look like how we think it's going to look at first. We ask God, give me a new car. Lord, I need you to just bless me with a new car. God, please just bless me with this new car. So in your mind, when you asking God to bless you with a new car, you are imagining that, okay, I'm finna go to the dealer. I'm finna be able to get a new car. Credit gonna be A1. I'm gonna be able to have a down payment. The payments each month ain't gonna be that much. God gonna really come through for me. But you never expect for it to look like, okay, you want a new car. Your car that you got right now about to break down, and then you about to be walking patent Turner in it for 6 months before you get something new. We don't want that. God, I just want you to take me from my situation now directly into the blessing. And we want to skip the process. You can't skip the process. God has to prune you even in this situation, this scenario about the new car, your old car breaking down. That's God pruning you. You want something new, you have to get ready. So you have to release what you already got. You walking for 6 months on foot. You got to walk everywhere for 6 months because you don't have any transportation. That's God pruning you, showing you how to appreciate the blessing when you finna get there. It's all a part of the process, but sometimes we don't want that. God, I want the promise. You can keep the process. God, I want you to prune me, but don't make it hurt. God, if you pruning me, only do it to the things that I'm really just like, yeah, God, you can take this away from me. Yeah, I don't really care about their relationship. You can strip their relationship, but this one, God, don't touch. That's the main relationship God trying to take away from you because that's the one that's bringing you the most heartache. That's the one that's keeping you from becoming who he has called you to be the most, is the one that you don't even want him to touch. Like, God, don't touch that one. I want it to look like how I want it to look, but we have to get out of that where we want it to look like how we want it to look, because God is like, I am in full control. It's going to look how I want it to look. It's going to look how I said it was going to look, not necessarily what you want. And this is why we have to go through that process of pruning. We cannot skip the process. And so many of us want to just skip the process. God, if I can just get to the blessing, if I can get to the promise and I ain't got to go through nothing, then I will be all right. But if you don't go through nothing, you ain't going to know how to appreciate the promise when you get to it. You ain't going to know how to appreciate the blessing when you get to it if you don't go through the process. If God is not stripping you and he's causing these discomforts, this season of, Lord, I just feel like you taking everything away from me that I care about. I feel like you taking everything away from me that actually means something to me. And God is like, oh, you thought that was benefiting you? Oh, you thought that was bringing you good, baby? Watch this. Watch what I'm about to do after you go through this process of pruning. Watch what I got waiting for you on the other side. But you can't get there steady holding on to the people that God is trying to strip you from, to the things that God is trying to strip you of, because it's not always people. It's some things in your life you need to let go of. Some things in your life you have put as idols. You have put before God. You have put in the place of, Lord, I still want to go where you calling me, but don't make me let go of this habit. Okay. Like, God, I want to keep this habit. No, God, I don't want to fix these flaws about myself, but I want to be elevated and go to the next level. And God is like, no, you got to go through some growth. You have to grow in some areas if you going to maintain and be able to operate in this next level that I got for you. You can't get to the next level and you the same person. You got the same attitude. You are impatient. You are just snobby with people. And you go to the next level. You think that you're going to be able to handle other people, a bigger room than what you are already in. No, we have to go through a season of pruning. Let's finish. Let's go to verse 8. So this is, again, John chapter 5, verses 1 through 8. We are now in verse 8. And verse 8 says, when you produce much fruit, you are my true disciples. This brings great glory to my Father. My God, this brings great glory to my Father. And I just want to encourage you today that when you are going through this pruning process, baby, listen to me. Listen to me. And I want you to hear me clearly. Just hear me good. The pruning is necessary. Yeah. My God, the pruning is necessary. That discomfort you feel, baby, that's necessary. That disappointment you feeling right now is necessary. Those aches and those growing pains you feel, they are all necessary, because without them, you're not going to be able to appreciate the next level that God has for you. Without those things, you are not going to be able to successfully walk into that elevated season that God got waiting for you. So as you are going through your season of pruning, I know, baby, it hurts. It doesn't feel good. I know you're crying at night. You know, you can't get out the house. You want to sit in the house and not do anything because you're just so disappointed with how life is for you right now. But just take solace in the fact that it ain't gonna always be like this. God knows what he's doing. God has a plan. God is setting you up for goodness. God ain't setting you up to fail. And that's what we have to understand. God is not taking you through these hard situations just to set you up to fail in the end. He's taking you through because it's some more territory that's way bigger than you could ever imagine that's waiting for you. But you can't occupy that territory until you have all the key components and the resources that you need. You can't walk into any room just looking any kind of way. Whew, my goodness. You can't walk into any space just talking any kind of way. Some spaces you got to enter with class. Some spaces you got to enter, baby, all GQ'd and dressed up. Some spaces you can't come in casually. My goodness. Listen to me. Y'all better catch this. Y'all better catch this word. It's some spaces that you have to have on the correct attire for that space. And in your case, in our case, the pruning is getting us prepared for that attire that we need. That attire, I'm not talking about clothes right now. When God is pruning you and he's stripping you from habits, he's stripping you from connections, that's because that attire, it don't fit you no more. Baby, God got to take it off. You finna get some whole new armor. You finna get some whole new attire. God is stripping you of that. So when he starts stripping you of that, fight against them feelings to want to reconnect. Fight against those feelings to want to bring them people back in your circle because it's comfortable for you. Pray. Get in your Bible, the YouVersion Bible app. I be doing Bible plans and all of that on pruning. Just however I feel. If I'm feeling anxiety, I'm doing a Bible plan. If I got a little stress creeping up, I'm doing a Bible plan. If I'm worried and I'm fearful of things, I'm doing a Bible plan. I'm getting in my word because I need peace. I need the peace over this situation. I'm not going to allow this situation to overtake my mind. So if you have a problem with the pruning season, which, let's be honest, a lot of us do, I will raise both of my hands, baby, because the pruning season ain't comfortable. And sometimes I just be like, God, like, I don't want you to prune that, but God knows what's best for me. And so I'm learning to stay out of his way, stay out of his business, and let him do what he does best. Because I know in the end, what I have been praying for, what I have been asking God to do, oh, baby, God is doing it. He's working. That pruning, that ain't nothing but the process I got to go through. That's all that is. Because when I get to the other side, everything I've asked in prayer, is waiting on that other side. But I got to go through the pruning process, and I have to remember, and you have to remember, we have to remember that pruning is necessary. All right, so that is it for this episode. We are going to close out with the Girl Just Heal mantra. You know how we're going to do. We're going to drop in, take a deep breath in and out. And this is just releasing all of the cares from today, yesterday, this week, this month. Everything that's coming to weigh you down, baby. If you've had some new triggers to rise up, we are releasing all of that off of us. And we are going to repeat the Girl Just Heal mantra together. So the Girl Just Heal mantra is, I accept myself for who I am. I free myself from all fear. And today, I choose to heal. I accept myself for who I am. I free myself from all fear. And today, I choose to heal. I accept myself for who I am. I free myself from all fear. And today, I choose to heal. So thank you so much, homegirls, for tuning in to this week's episode of the Girl Just Heal podcast. I am your favorite homegirl, Neimoya Basden. And until we speak again, girl, just heal. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Girl Just Heal podcast. Be sure to connect with us on social media at Girl Just Heal. And if you need an extra dose of support during your healing journey, join our private Facebook community where we can continue to heal, grow, and evolve together.